we are battling against the Russians who are trying to dream of breakthrough at certain points. We are doing the opposite. We are actually retaking territory.
Is Donald Trump's White House again singing from the Russian song sheet? The US Vice President J.D. Vance gave an interview to NBC and outlined the need to negotiate in Ukraine. He had a short history lesson.
Kristen, this is how wars ultimately get settled. If you go back to World War II, if you go back to World War I, if you go back to every major conflict in human history, they all end with some kind of negotiation.
You don't have to be much of a student of history to know that Hitler shot himself in a bunker and the German High Command surrendered unconditionally. And Japan, the war in Japan ended, well, thanks to the dropping of 2 atom bombs. J.D. Vance was also asked about the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov's statement that his nation Russia would need to play a role in Ukraine's future security.
Of course, they're going to have some stake in this. They're going to talk about this. That doesn't mean that they're going to have troops in Ukrainian territory, but how can you reasonably provide security guarantees without talking to the Russians about what would be necessary to bring the war to a close? The Russians are going to be involved because they're the critical party that's necessary to stop the killing. Again, this is how negotiations happen. It's this give and take. It's a conversation between both sides.
Well, Sviatoslav Yurash is a Ukrainian MP who served in the Ukrainian army and returned from the front line just a few months ago. Hello to you, Sviatoslav.
Greetings.
Greetings to you. What do you make of what you're hearing there? Do you take the view that the White House is now, as it were, batting for Russia?
Well, it wasn't Ukrainians who coined the phrase, America chooses the right option after exhausting all the others. And J.D. Vance's point of view has evolved substantially from the articles about Trump, comparing Trump with Hitler to this point of being Trump's vice president. So as far as this situation is concerned, I'm very hopeful that J.D. Vance will continue his opinions. Russia keeps presenting all of those points of disrespect to American power and keeps letting down all the hopes that America has for the settlement in Europe. And the reality is Russia is not to be trusted. Was the point of contention always that we held, and Russia keeps presenting the world with all these examples of them breaking the world's hopes and trust.
Let me ask you about the report in the Wall Street Journal that Ukraine needed the White House or the administration in Washington's approval to fire missiles into Russian territory. Did that have a significant impact on Ukrainian operations?
There is much wishful thinking that we are seeing as far as Russian policy is concerned. But, I mean, Russia is not hiding the ball, and they have never been hiding the ball on the fact that they are dreaming of destroying Ukraine, the largest nation in Europe, and integrating it into the whatever empire Mr. Putin thinks that he'll be making and building there. The truth is, Ukrainians, by every poll and measurement, ever since our independence, are very clear that we don't want that, and we are showing in the battlefield that we will fight against that in every way we can. And again, with Russia continuing its imperialistic policies in Ukraine, we will show them time and time again that it will cost them dearly to make any other step in Ukraine.
Well, clearly the will to fight is still strong in Ukraine. There will have to be some kind of peace at some point, in which case we're going to be talking about guarding that peace and guaranteeing Ukraine's security. Now, the talks are going on again today about this so-called coalition of the willing among countries, Britain, France and others, talking about guarding that peace in Ukraine when it eventually comes. Putin says no to such a force. What do you make of that? Because as far as Putin's concerned, it looks like a veto on this coalition ever entering Ukraine.
Putin has been very clear always about everything that he intends, and by him disagreeing with whatever next steps that can be taken and should be taken for guaranteeing our security and independence, he's showcasing what this ceasefire is for him, or peace deal or anything else. This will be essentially a respite for him to restore his forces and try again. And for us, it is very clear that we need to prepare for him breaking any agreements. And without the real on the table guarantees that will actually sustain our security for years to come. There is no reason for us to constantly discuss and ponder the ceasefire reality, because it isn't a reality. It's simply a way for Putin to reconvene his forces and strike again.
Okay, well, if the talk of a ceasefire is not a reality, how are you to prevail? What's to bring about victory for Ukraine?
We are seeing that the Russians are paying a price every single day. The reality of their losses are quite hard to even consider, but that's the reality I've seen on the front lines. The Russians are throwing more and more men into the meat grinder, showing everlasting reality of human wave tactics the Russians have been employing against whatever enemy they were fighting throughout the centuries past. And the reality for us, it is very obvious that we are here to stay, and we are here to fight, and we are here to defend. And whatever Russians are thinking, it is something that is leading us to fight another day. And the reality is, again, there's nobody who wants peace more than us in Ukraine. We never wanted any of this to start. But if Russia brings their forces and attacks us every single day, we have no other way but to fight back and defend ourselves.
And what about this idea of a meeting between Putin and President Zelenskyy of Ukraine? Is that just so much hot air for you?
We have made every single step in that direction. We have taken up Mr. Trump on the initiative to have the meeting in Istanbul. We have made all the steps agreeing to a ceasefire, taking various gradual ceasefires in many directions. Russia has broken every one of those and is refusing to talk of a ceasefire of any kind. So it is very obvious to us that the party that doesn't want the peace or even talk of the peace to start is Russia, and we shall make that point clear as we are battling against the Russians who are trying to dream of breakthrough at certain points. We are doing the opposite. We are actually retaking territory. In the prior days, we've retaken several villages, and this will continue.
Sviatoslav Yurash, Ukrainian MP, thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you too, sir.
Good to see you. Thank you.
How are you doing?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, how are you?
I'm doing good, sir.
Good.
So,
Welcome.
yes, thank you. Sir, thank you for yesterday. That was really
It was
quite an
moving.
honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. So it's good to do it. And by the way, sir, the momentum came back all the way. It was really good. You did it. I did not sleep the night before. I slept really good that night. I put it all in.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the meeting in Washington was, I think, was very good.
yeah, it was
I
great.
think it was